Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of You've Already Peaked Gaming Podcast, featuring your host, Locarthemanbeast, and also featuring me, DjLobsterDust. Welcome.
What's up, man? Who died?
Call me on my cell phone. Who died?
Yeah. Lots of people died.
Lots of people died.
Yeah, I was
Gene
like,
Hackman?
I saw Harriet the Spy.
Gene Hackman was weird.
That was a weird one. So Harriet the Spy dead. I was like, I haven't thought about that fucking girl in years. Like,
I don't even know what Harriet the Spy is.
Remember
to me, that's your sister, dude, from Eurotrip. That's
yes,
the only thing I know her from.
Yes, Harriet the Spy was that Nickelodeon made-for-TV movie with the little girl with the yellow like rain jump jacket, and she was like, she had like little gadgets and stuff, and she ran around. I just remember watching it a couple times and being like, this is fucking stupid. I think it was after our time. I think it was just like your sister, my sister's time period for Harriet the Spy. Mm-hmm. But I know she was in a couple other things. But yeah, Eurotrip for sure. And then just like, it was like she died at like 39 or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's strange. And then the next
liver transplant complications,
something like that. And I was like, oh shit. Well, you know, child actress.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like, damn.
And then it was like Gene Hackman died, and I was like, no fucking way. I was like, well, he's so old. And it was like Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog. And I was like,
found dead inside the home. No foul play suspected. What? Then how did all three of them die?
Sounds like carbon monoxide poisoning.
In a house?
Yeah, easily. Left the gas burner on, fucking gas line broke out on the back line, something like that. Yeah, absolutely possible.
Yeah.
Cold weather, had the heater on, you know, shit happens, man.
RIP to a real one.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You know, what was Gene Hackman's best movies or whatever? I think I will die on the hill that I think Superman 2 like was one of his better
Gene Hackman's best?
That's best, but one of his better roles. And we talked top 3, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't even put it top 3.
Crimson Tide's pretty fucking good, man.
Crimson Tide's fucking good.
It's great.
Crimson Tide's good. Fucking, I don't know. Is it just me or is The Quick and the Dead a fucking sick ass movie?
It is a good movie.
Every time I say it, like I bring it up, I'm like, dude, Quick and the Dead, and people are like, what? like it's super mid. I fucking love it.
Well, it's like I love The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. But like people that go back and watch that movie are like, this is a fucking terrible movie. And I'm like, I think it's a great fucking movie.
I'm into westerns,
dude. Absolutely into westerns. I'm into old weird westerns where like the plot of it is like on the edge of like the Mexican border because it's all American Revolution time. You know,
they're all just going back and forth.
Yeah, like,
both governments.
Yeah, God, I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
Like fucking Bonanza.
Bonanza. Oh Christ.
I fuck with Bonanza though.
I do like Bonanza. Old was it Clint Eastwood westerns? I've just realized you got Blue's Clues behind you.
Whatever it could be.
We're all gonna find Blue's Clues.
See, this is my sister's Nickelodeon. This wasn't my Nickelodeon.
No, this was Nick Jr., right? That's exactly what this was. Because it was Blue's Clues, Bear and the Big Blue. Oh no, Bear and the Blue Heist was Disney, right?
I don't know. Isn't it weird that like
Is it weird?
It's not like, is it weird that like ours was like so different? I wouldn't take theirs for a fucking second. Because if you give me like our Disney had like gargoyles and shit.
Yeah.
Our fucking Nickelodeon was Ren and Stimpy,
yeah.
but ours was pretty fucking weird and twisted.
And
then like theirs, like all of a sudden did like a hyper shift, like let's be good for children.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. It was
like they overcorrected. They made a fucking generation of pussies.
Well, I think what ended up happening was the fucking animators and the people that were making like Ren and Stimpy and stuff started having kids, and they were like, I don't want to show my kids this. You know what I mean? Like that's probably what ended up happening. They're like, oh yeah, we should probably backtrack a little bit. Although I will tell you, the first time I watched Bananas in Pajamas, I was like, there's nothing educational about this. This is a fucking, someone took one too many hits of acid and then made a TV show, and they're like, it's educational for kids. Because at one point they screamed,
that was educational.
Yeah, Bananas in Pajamas. They did like, let's do addition or whatever, and then you would like fucking run around and be like 1 + 3, and then like bananas would just pop out and weird shit would happen. I don't know, man. It was a weird fucking show. I remember smoking a bunch of weed one day and then sitting down and watching it, and I was like, this is strange.
Fucking my sister, don't know why, was terrified of that. Like when that thing would come on, like I remember like she was really little and she was like just watching TV and it came on, and when they start walking down the stairs, she started like screaming like a devil was coming out of the TV. And it used to be a thing, like I could just like hum that like theme song and she would like start screaming and cry.
In pajamas are coming down the stairs. No, I'm telling you, that was like the same thing with Teletubbies, right? Like that's well past my job. That was past my job. But it was weird, dude. It's weird. Even to this day, watching the thing like the Wiggles or whatever, right? Like the Wiggles are fucking weird too, right? It's not that it's fun. It is fun. You could be like, oh, it's cool music. They're having fun with it. Like they even put out like a almost the Wiggles last album.
They do like world tours.
Yeah, the Wiggles last album they put out was like a house mix. It's actually dope music. And then you realize like it's a bunch of grown men singing for children. But
yeah, can you imagine that being your job? No matter how wildly successful you are, you go home at night, you're just like, put the keys in the dish, sit on your couch, and just stare at a space in the floor like, my father was right. Like, what am I doing?
I mean, I have to imagine this is a more lucrative process than becoming like a kindergarten teacher.
Oh yeah, they're kicking our ass for sure.
Yeah.
Like all in perspective, like yeah, you're doing pretty good, but
it's
how
still.
do you feel when you look in the mirror?
There was I saw on like, was it on Reddit? I think it was on Reddit or it was Instagram or something like that. It was like a post, and it was like when you're dating the weird one or whatever, and it's like it shows like a kid. It's like the Wiggles or the kids cartoon show, and it's like a guy in like a vampire costume, like doing like just fucking being dumb goofy or whatever, and like dancing around, just looking like an absolute idiot. And then she just turns the camera to him, and he's just sitting on the couch. He just looks over and he's like, yeah. And like he just realized it's just an act, everything's funny. But it's like, man, I don't know if I would want to be remembered as the fucking at the worst possible place in my life as the blue Power Ranger, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be Jason. Everybody wanted to be Tommy. But if you had to like be at the bottom tier, Blue Ranger.
Ranger had the glasses, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then did they changed him in like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, right?
No, he was the same dude in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Was he?
I'm almost positive. Yeah, it was the same. It was same cast from season 1.
Was it the Black Power Ranger that changed?
I don't know if it was the actor, but I mean.
Dude, you know how fucking sick it would be to like, I was thinking about it like one day, like if you could play like one guitar riff just like perfectly, what would it, okay, now that I worded it, like my answer might not be cool. Would it be so fucking sick to be like somebody's like, do you play guitar? Like, yeah, a little bit. And you just bust out like the perfect like 90s Power Ranger fucking, like, wouldn't that be fucking dope? But then I worded the question. I was like, dude, there's way sicker guitars.
Yeah, I was going to say. Someone was like, "Can you play guitar?" And I like bust out Beethoven's Fifth on like a fucking electric. You know what I mean? Like
on a 4-string acoustic.
Yeah. Although I will say, if I could go anywhere and then just pull out a guitar and play Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and just make it sound dope as fuck.
Out of a bag.
Yeah.
Do it and then just disappear.
Yeah. Smoke bomb.
Chipotle's like, what the fuck was that? Do you want guac? Like the fucking what was it? The sexy sax man that used to go around sack.
Yeah.
And just play fucking Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
Walk into a bar, play it, and fucking just disappear.
God.
Yeah, that guy fucks.
I think there's a mural of him on a wall somewhere in Sacramento.
Did he die?
No. So I think just someone
just like we're painting.
Yeah, we're just painting him up. It's like it's God, where is it? I saw it somewhere. It's actually pretty close to my house, I think. I'll have to, the next time I drive past it, I'll snap a picture of it and I'll send it to you. It's so goofy. Someone's like, this dude is the shit, man. Put him up on a wall.
God, that's how legends are made.
Yeah.
Fucking, what was it? In like downtown James Brown.
Yeah.
What a wild time. That was before social media.
God, man.
Before social media, a homeless guy was like the king of Sacramento.
Yeah.
Just downtown, like everybody fucking knew him.
Yep.
Everybody talked about him.
Yep.
And he would just dance for $1.
Man,
God bless you.
The legends that existed just by word of mouth were the best part of pre-social media.
Yeah,
like
Bushman in San Francisco.
Bushman, yeah, everyone knew. It's like, oh, if you go out to Fisherman's Wharf, there's a guy who'll scare you around the bush. It was like, what the fuck? And it's like, you never knew what people were talking about until you walked past them and got scared. Then you're like, oh, I fucking know what they're talking about now.
It's like root beer.
Yeah.
No publicity,
Nope.
no marketing,
Nope.
just fucking game.
Yep.
Just serving it.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Social media is the downfall.
And then there's
humanity.
us. All the social media. Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. I consume 90% of my news from fucking TikTokers with big tits.
Yeah. Well, where else are you gonna get it? Look at Spain and their.
I was gonna say, yeah. They're making it work. Their ratings are through the roof for a reason.
Oh man.
Good lordy. This has been a week of pretty much no video games for me. I have been so goddamn busy. I haven't had a chance to even play on my phone. I've had a couple nights of gaming. Played some Marvel Rivals. God, what else did I play? I don't fucking know. Nothing. You know what I have been doing? I have been reading the Dungeon Crawler Carl series.
Yeah.
I am infatuated with this story. So like, I read book 1 and I was like instantly hooked, right? I was like, book 1 is fucking amazing. As I was finishing book 1, I just immediately went to the store and picked up book 2. And I was like, I'm going to fucking just go because I was the minute book 1 ended, I had to start book 2. It was just like, you cannot leave me like this. I got to keep going. And I started reading book 2, but then I had to put it down. There was a lot of stuff. I don't think I've really picked it up and read it since probably the beginning of January. It's just been too busy and a bunch of stuff. And, I was sitting on my couch watching fucking TV or something, and I was like, I'm so bored. And I came in here, and I was like, I'm gonna play some games. And I just sat down, and I was like, nothing fucking interests me. I couldn't get anything to just like say, play me.
Yeah.
I said, fuck it. I'm gonna just go to bed. It was like 8 o'clock. I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. I laid down in bed, and I looked over my nightstand. The book was there. I was like, all right, fuck. Let me read for a little bit. And then I just plugged through that book. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's right. This is an amazing story. I had like 30 pages left and I was like on Amazon, like ordering the third book to come the next morning. So that was Wednesday I finished the book. Thursday morning, the book shows up and I'm like, perfect. I get home from work. I sit down. I fucking plug through 400 pages from the time I got off of work at like 4:30 to like 2 in the morning. I just fucking read all day yesterday. And so there was like a little bit left. I tried to finish it last night. I sat down. Me and Sean were going to play games. I was so tired. I was just reading. I was like, Sean, let me get through this chapter. I think I blew through like 2 or 3 chapters. I fell asleep sitting in the chair. Just fucking out. Book open. Woke up this morning, finished the book. Went to go buy book 4. Doesn't come out until the end of March. I guess.
Shit.
Okay, so like the series is 7 books and they're already released. I don't know where to get them. I guess you could probably find like a paperback or something. I know that they're
like Bushman in San Francisco.
Exactly right. I do know that they are on Audible, and Kindle, but I wanted the hardcover because I'm like, all right, I got them all. I think they're slowly releasing the hardback editions, and so that's why I have to wait till the end.
Fuck a paperback, dude.
I mean, a book is a book is a book, but you're right.
Is a book, but like. It feels so different when you're holding a paperback versus a hardcover. Yeah. The fucking like eventually like they start like curving out because you're holding it like this. And like when it's a good book, like you want like the copy, like the nice edition and stuff like that, I guess if it's like, I don't know. If it's a book that you're like, I don't really care, I'll just read it. Maybe paperback, I don't know.
Well, now I'm at a position where I looked at it. The hardback editions are 4's launching the end of March, and then it goes March, April, June. So it's like I have to wait until I think July time until the entire series is out. And I'm plugging through like a book a day. You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe I just have to bite the bullet and pick it up because there's just no way with the way that this book ended, book 3 ended. I'm just like, there's no way you can just stop reading. You know what I mean? Like, I need the next book. I now need the next story. This is the true addiction of like fantasy mind. You know what I mean? It's such so I convinced Sean to read it. Because I gave him...
It's on my list.
I gave him my copy one day. I think when we were moving. I was like, go and read this and tell me what you think. Yeah, that's right. Then the day you came down, we talked about Starfield. He hadn't been sitting on it. We were talking the other night. I was like, just please for me, just read 2 chapters. If by the 2nd chapter you weren't completely hooked, I'll stop talking about it. But just get it. Yesterday he called me on his way home. He's like, just started fucking blowing up about it because it's just a good fucking story.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so cool. And like as a gamer, as someone who's like interested in like just weird dystopias and like very awkward, it's a phenomenal book. Book 1, book 2, like just phenomenal books. Book 3 was great. Like there's so much involved with what's going on and like where you just think it's like, oh, it's just this fucking dungeon crawling, like, whoa, aliens took over the world. It just becomes this dark, deep fucking thing about, corporations and greed and like human existence and how you as a person keep your morality and humanity as you're like killing monsters that are actually things and people and like they all have, it's just this really fucked up like idea. It's such a cool book. It's like a necessity. It's like I think everybody who like enjoys like RPGs or fantasy or anything like that and doesn't mind a little bit of adult humor and adult themes, it's a great fucking book.
Why'd you toss in adult themes?
Lots of adult themes.
Did it need to be said?
I don't think it needed.
Is it like that heavy?
No.
If you're an adult, you're like unless you have like a aversion to like adult humor and adult things.
I think more or less the reason why I'm saying that is because it's vulgar. There's a lot of like vulgar. It feels like it's written for men in a sense. You know what I mean? There's a lot of little things that play butt stuff. Lots of like jokes about.
That's exactly what I thought
penises
too. It's like what? Like they're gonna put a 2 liter of Sprite up somebody's asshole, and I just need to prepare you for it.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. There's a lot of little things like that, and it's gory. He's very visual with like the gore that happens in it, like the things that like. There's this point that just happened in the 3rd book. It made me laugh, but it's just kind of like gross, Anyway, great book, great story. Makes me want to play a game like this. Just thinking about it. Dungeon crawling, RPG, like kind of roguelite in a sense where you get one shot at this. Like I kind of want to play a game like that, Just goofy off the wall.
I mean, Avowed is out.
So I've been looking at this because again, Obsidian is not one to shy away from good stories. What?
Did you find my clue? Oh shit, I grabbed the wrong one. Ah! Never mind.
Oh,
God damn it, dude. I thought I had it so I could. Oh yeah. Shit. All right. I fucked that up.
I didn't.
fucked that up.
Is that what it was? Oh my god! I saw it. I didn't. I thought you were just putting our logo up there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I fucked that up. I've been waiting for the time, and I.
It was good.
Oh,
it was good. Yeah, your camera's all over.
Yeah, it was a
the
good
place
one.
now.
Yeah, it was a zinger.
But I will tell you. So I have been looking at Avowed specifically because there's. I don't know, man. Obsidian.
There's a lot of controversy. I don't know. Like, why is this like a battleground?
I don't know. I don't understand because I started looking at it and it's like everybody's like, it's not really like one of those woke games or anything like that. Especially because the story is based off the Pillars of Eternity stuff that they did. And so like there's already this like pre-existing world that spans back 15 years. You know what I mean? So it's like it's really hard to be weirded out by some of this. And I was like, okay, I'm like I kind of understand it. I feel
like the pendulum is like swinging too far, you know, like that. They're like, oh, we don't want like woke bullshit, and then like, and now everything is like, I just like
that. See, that's my next thing too. Is like, is it really woke bullshit, or is it just people fucking rabbling to rabble nowadays? Like,
yeah,
woke bullshit is. I just rewatched a video of some guy playing Dustborn. Like he played through the entirety of it, and like it's a whole fucking thing,
like a Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, turn it off. But realistically, it's like, you know, stuff like that is the jam down your throat, ridiculous bullshit. If there's just themes and things, whatever, it's not a big deal. I think for me, the more that I have been watching Avowed, it's just fucking boring.
Yeah.
It doesn't
like that's my point when I was like, I don't think I'm gonna go like Avowed was like on my list, like, oh, like I'm like currently digging like single player like RPGs. Like this could be something that could pass the time. But like just other games beat it. And like the point for me to be like, I don't want it. It wasn't like, man, I think the game is shit. Like apparently the game isn't great. It's not terrible, but it's not like, oh fuck, like this is fucking like game of the year or anything like that.
That's what it is. It's not about
$70. I think that's the big thing for me. $70. And from like everything that I saw, it's like, unless you're, which honestly I do play like games like that. I'm usually like an archer of some kind, like some kind of like wood elf that sneaks around and fucking like snipes people. But just the fact that people were like, man, like the melee combat is just fucking weak. Yeah. If that's going to be 30% of the, like, to me, that's about 30% ish of your gameplay is going to be like, this sucks, like just slow.
It's just, you can see where they were trying to put things together. They didn't want to emphasize nothing but melee. That's why you have so much of the gun stuff and like the magic and different things like that. And it is kind of its own like point of Skyrim-esque, where it just kind of feels on its own. Now there was another, what was it, the guys that did New Vegas or whatever, what's Obsidian 2? Who the fuck is doing Avowed? Is it Obsidian? Am I wrong about that?
I think so. It sounds correct to me.
I'm like super weirded out by this now because it is Obsidian. So Obsidian did New Vegas too. But the guys that did New Vegas also did what was that game called? Outer Worlds? Was it Outer Worlds? No. Yes, Outer Worlds.
I'm not familiar.
Outer Worlds. Am I? Yes, because the second
game's
coming out. Outer Worlds probably came out in 2019, I think. 2018.
Huh.
Outer Worlds came out, 2019, October 2019. Anyway, it is Fallout in space. And it's by the team that did the New Vegas stuff. And it's you can very feel it was a great fucking story. It was a great story. It was a lot of fun. It was funny. It was entertaining. It was so much cool things going on. And then the second game's coming out and the trailer for the second one was just so perfect. Do you remember the series that IGN did, speedrunners, devs react to speedrunning or whatever? That got famous because their first one they did was the devs watching a speedrunner beat Outer Worlds in like 10 minutes or something like that. And the whole time was them just being like, I fucking told them to fix that. He's like, yeah, we told him to fix it. Like, you know what I mean? And so the trailer for the second Outer Worlds is like, maybe this time you guys won't break it. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just had it plastered on the screen. So it's a lot of fun like that. Anyway, that was cool and interesting. So I'm wondering where Avowed kind of like lost itself, because when I watch it, watching just the musket play, like, or the gun play where it's like, like it doesn't feel natural or realistic. And it's just like, what is going on here? This just seems goofy. It just feels like a hodgepodge. It's like this like amalgamation and this like homunculus of all the things that Skyrim and all these other games can have. Like we just cherry picked all the best parts that we thought were cool and slapped them in a game and then went from there. Now, watching people play the story, it was like, oh, this is an interesting story because it follows the Pillars of Eternity stuff. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I like the Pillars of Eternity storyline. I didn't have a problem with it. So that was fine to see. But then just watching the game being played, I was like, this is one of those games I would watch someone play versus play myself. You know what I mean? That's where I think that's where it's getting such a negative point, because like you said, people are spending $70 on this game and then they're playing it being like, ugh. And then they're already in this like really negative mindset. Is it back? What's that in the corner? Is that a clue?
Keep talking. Ignore it. Ignore it. We're resetting it for. Okay, I'm done.
I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, it's just like because they're already in such a negative mindset. Then anything that sparks in that point, hearing all this stuff about fucking woke bullshit or all the games that are coming out, I think people are just grasping because now they're just upset because they got a boring ass fucking game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently Kingdom Come is the hotness.
You know, it's so weird. So Kingdom Come Deliverance, when I first played that game when it first came out, I played it on console first, and then I played it on PC. When I played it on console, it was one of those games where I didn't realize how mechanically difficult it was. You know, just like the way you blocked and the way you did certain things and all this shit. Yeah. I fucking struggled at the beginning of that game for a hot minute, to the point where I was just like, I am not having fun. I'm going to put this away. Got rid of it. Came back to it later after I had watched a YouTuber make a review on it or something. And he had said the same thing. He's like, this is one of those games where it's a one or two type of situation. Either someone gets into it and they realize that it's a little bit difficult and they need to like push through. And once they push through, they're going to realize how great of a fucking game it is. Or you're in the other category where you get hit by this stuff and you're just like, this is not fun. I don't understand it. And then that player walks away and they never get to experience the game. And it like almost like was like a challenge, you know? Yeah. Fuck you. Yeah. So I went back and played it again. And I was like, okay, this is a dope.
Dude, just set your controller down. Like,
I'm going to get lunch. I'm clearing my head. I'm looking at a tutorial. But yeah, super cool. So the second game came out and I was like, man, this would be fun. I don't know if I have the fucking desire to put the effort into playing a game like that.
I don't know. It was so that like the two games that like I was like looking at, like if I'm going to get a new game, I think it's either going to be like Avowed or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And like between the two, like I've learned I'm not doing this early access shit anymore. I'm waiting until they're releasing. I'm watching some reviews. I'm not Cliff, but you know, I'm trying to be a little more frugal with my spending. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when I watched Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I was like, this looks like a lot of fun. Like the opening and like fucking just like sniping people with crossbows and like silly shit like that, and like how you build like your character, like how you choose like your classes and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this looks good. Like it does seem fucking a little
tedious. Yeah, yeah,
like the combat and stuff. But I don't know. It looked cool.
Yeah, no, I mean it's on a list of mine to play as well. It's also one of those things like you're saying, like we're getting to the point now where paying for the games that are full price or the big prices, you know what I mean? They're
70.
fucking they're
70, dude.
Yeah, and 70 is like, again, like we talked about, like the difference between 60 and 70 is really not that bad. $10 fucking dollars.
I don't want to pay 60.
I know, but like that the thing is like, okay, we're looking at bigger games or bigger publishers, bigger industry stuff, AAA, quadruple A titles. When it gets to the $70 mark, you're like, you know what? Understandable. But it's been 1 in fucking 25 that we've had a good game come out that has been full price in the past 3 years.
If I'm paying like 60 or like the new standard 70, like I want something that feels polished. I want like a Borderlands, you know?
Yeah.
Like something that would go, and I don't even know if this is a metric anymore, but like something that would go to console that you could put it in, play, and not have to fucking worry about anything.
Yeah, no, I agree to that. I think more or less when you hit the $70 mark, you want to get your money's worth. And I think that when people look at like what the money's worth on video games, like it's going to differ from every other person, right? Because you got fucking whales out there that'll drop $3,000 on a fucking titty skin in an MMO. And then there's a guy that's like, I won't spend more than $5 on an indie title. You know what I mean? So there's the drastic differences, but I think what it comes down to is like the value of the game itself has to be worth its hype and its marketing and its following and stuff like that. If you're the only person that likes the game, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel comfortable to spend $70 and be the only person with a positive review, you know, on the game, again, cool, no big fucking deal. But for everybody else, I'm not spending $5,000 on a mattress and finding out the springs fucking stick through it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. God, and to the point that I just said, like I almost expect like console releases. I feel like it's gonna get worse because like as I said that, Valve is coming out with their new like Steam box or whatever it is, like their console. That's just gonna be like plug it in. It's like just like a beefier Steam Deck that you put on like a TV and you can like couch play. And like as I was saying that, I was like, man, it's about to get weird. You start adding like that console aspect to like PC gaming and have all those devs, and they're already like the trend is going to be like $70 games for these like big titles, but now you're going to have all these like couch players essentially that are like, oh well, now I can get to like PC gaming, but I can still do it on my couch, and like that weird influx. I almost feel is going to like artificially boost a lot of weird games to a big price.
Very true on that, because well the thing is that's already existed for years. I'm talking more than 10 years with Steam. So if you've ever
Steam box,
not just the Steam box, but just Steam in general. So we used to have this where the fuck is
the Steam controller,
the Steam controller and the Steam Link. So I have a thing that plugs into my TV that can run from my computer, and I can play any game on my Steam account on my TV. And it's done in a way that's like, if it's a game that was on console or a game that can be used controller and stuff like that, it all links together. And then I can just do it as though I'm just playing a console game. It has existed forever. Have you ever accidentally clicked on big picture mode on your Steam and been like, what the fuck is this? And how do I get out of it?
Yeah, it just sucks.
That does suck, but that is designed for the Steam Link. It's designed for the TVs. It's not designed for your smaller screen. So the big picture mode is designed for a bigger TV size, pixels and things of that nature, so you can play your games. That's what that is there for. It has been in the system forever. They just kind of, Steam at a certain point stopped doing it because their hardware tech was just, they were throwing shit out there to see what was sticking, and people weren't really grabbing it. Some people grabbed it, some people didn't, but then they saw, okay, we're not really making a ton of sales and nobody's utilizing it. Everybody's just collecting it as like a trophy in a sense. I had a Steam Link and the Steam controller. I ended up giving my Steam controller to Sean because he didn't have a controller to play when we were playing Elden Ring. Remember? You know? So it's like, if they're introducing new tech to update it, fuck yeah, that's dope. Because I've said it multiple times, my Steam library is bigger than anything I've ever owned in my entire life, and I've owned a lot of fucking console games. But if I could sit down and play Skyrim that I already own for the 19th billion time on my Steam account sitting on my account.
Modded.
And modded? Exactly. You know what I mean? Why the fuck
Yeah.
not? You know what I mean? Absolutely. If I don't have to sit in the computer chair to play a game that would be dope to play sitting on the couch, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Now, you know what sucks, though? You get that thing, you plug it into your TV, you get to play all your games. You don't actually own them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
PlayStation consoles, like, you own it all, but like the Steam, like, it goes offline. So
GOG, Good Old Games, I have started getting to the point where I'm only purchasing through Good Old Games because they are the last bastion of the gaming world of you do own your game.
Shout out to our sponsor, Good Old Games. Everybody go in there, use code YAP for nothing off on your next order.
Yeah. Even if we're not sponsored by them, I think everybody should use Good Old Games. I love Good Old Games. But I will say specifically, I think one of the big ones is that what I don't know, and I have to look into, is that if I purchase something off of Good Old Games and then I activate it on Steam, do I then lose my licensing?
What?
So they give you a code.
Purchase it and then activate it.
Yeah, so it asks you where you want to activate it. It says, where do you want to activate it? And you say, oh, give me a Steam key, and it'll give you a Steam key, and then you put it on your Steam account. And I can see that I still own it on GOG, but like you can only get it through a Steam key. But if I put it on for Steam, do I then lose my right on that and it goes into, you know what I mean? It's one of those situations. So I think I would have to look into it because I'm assuming if I have the registration key, then it's mine. But if I'm giving a Steam key, I'm losing the registration key because they're just giving me a copy of the game at that point.
Yeah.
Because there are some games where you get and you don't really get an option. They're just like, yeah, redeem on Steam. It's like, yeah. I think I want more couch games. Although, I don't know. I'm so unaccustomed to playing with a controller nowadays. I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Elden Ring is the only one that that it even feels, and even Elden Ring kind of feels a little weird, but it's like I can't do the fucking parry and everything on a keyboard and everything.
No, it's too many buttons for that. There's too many buttons.
But a shooter?
Yeah.
A shooter?
Well,
holy shit. I look like a toddler.
I played something recently. I played a shooter and I had my controller in and I accidentally bumped the controller. And I was like, so I just picked it up to play. And I was just like, whoa, I have forgotten everything. This is not like riding a bike. It's like, it was not coming back.
You're looking I was looking.
Yeah. So I was like,
B? Oh, okay.
I was so fucking confused. I was like, none of this is making any sense. I'm so off put by this. And then just trying to move. And then realizing when you're playing a shooter and being able to have the mobility you have with mouse and keyboard. Oh my God, it's not even the same. And then I watch people on console play Call of Duty or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so there's me on controller, which is the bot. Okay, there's a newborn baby on a controller, and then there's me. Okay.
Okay.
And then there's
fractions above it.
There's me on keyboard.
Yep.
And then there's 17-year-old or a 14-year-old playing Call of Duty on PlayStation here. And that weirds me out. I'm good. I'm a good shooter.
And then there's some kid playing Fortnite.
It's at the top of the world. Yeah. It's still one of my favorite fucking clips I've ever seen in the world. A guy's standing, and runs all the way over to him, and then he just shoots him again and kills him. He's like, "What the fuck was that?" And
oh, I think he's getting old, man.
I think so. This is the downhill side. Okay, so so Next Fest is going on right now, and we played Fellowship. Do you remember the game that I was talking about where it was like a dungeon? It's only dungeons. You get to pick your class. It's either tank, DPS, or healer, the Holy Trinity, and then you just plug away and you get in. So we played, and it is in its earliest access, right? This is a play test for Steam Next Fest. You know, it's I don't even think you could consider demo. It's literally like we're stress testing, we're seeing what works, we're seeing what doesn't work. They have a beautiful, beautiful idea going. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great way to play the game too. If you are into the MMO lifestyle and you like the dungeons and you play MMOs for that type of thing, but you're just sick of the waiting to get to that point, I think it's a great game to play. It gives you a little bit of, you know, choices and the way gearing works and how to get certain things done. And it did get to the point a little bit where Sean was a healer, I was a tank, Aaron and Marius played DPS, and we were just talking and communicating. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, well, if we kill these mobs, they do this to us, or we get this debuff. Oh, we have to do that. And it was that back to that, like figuring shit out and trying to understand and like coming up with a plan and finding the synergy. And it was beautiful for that. On the complete exact opposite side of that coin, it was the most boring fucking game I've ever played in my life.
I was just gonna say it scratched the itch.
It scratched
and the caveat.
It scratched the itch.
Why boring?
It just didn't have enough.
Like fixable boring?
Fixable boring. Absolutely fixable boring.
Okay.
Absolutely fixable boring.
This is like a play test, right? This is like super early.
Yeah.
Not even
alpha. Yeah. So, and that's where I'm like, I'm trying to keep my mind at it, but it's like, it felt polished enough that it's like one of those things where it was the Nightingale effect where this looks fucking polished. Don't drop it like this.
Yeah. Please.
But the every map being a little bit different, and even the little enemies that had a little bit of differenceness to it, it just was like mob pack, and then it was like a boss. And then like once you got to the little bit of the higher tiers, then it was like mob packs, one boss, mob pack, one boss, mob pack, one boss. And you could see that they had the WoW element and the Final Fantasy element, and they were kind of like just shuffling together. And then, but it was just boring in the sense that it was like you were just grouping mobs and then just standing there trying to like, oh, they're running at me, move to the side type of, and like it didn't have enough engagement. It just felt like I was just there to do rotation and then move on to the next pack and do rotation and then on to the next pack. And like even the small little things, there was like, oh, this is a watch out, don't be in the way of this as this mob is using its ability. It didn't really have any negative. They were all the same thing. They were all just like a knockback, or they were all like a debuff or something. And it was like, okay, I can see where they're going with it. I can understand it, but their concept that they have, the abilities to use, the way the classes synergize together, the way that things happen, they had that to a T. But then I started realizing I don't think anybody on the dev team knows how to build a dungeon. And maybe that's where the problem is. I think it's the layout, the map, the openness, the things that are going on. It just
They're cooking without salt.
Yeah, exactly. It's everything
like
feels.
They have ingredients.
Yeah, everything.
Like you just need that.
Exactly. You just need a little spice. You know, add a little bit to it, because as of right now, everything feels good except for just playing the game, which is then the most boring part of it. And it was like, damn. It's like it looks fucking beautiful, and then you open the door, and you know it's actually bicycle pedals. You know what I mean? That's driving your Lamborghini. So it's one of those things where I'm hopeful, but it needs to come in a very specific way. And I'm sure because we didn't get to dig that deep into it. I mean, I think we got to like 5 or 6, like tiering 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 or something like that. And when we were playing on the first couple days, the person that has reached the highest was like 11 or whatever. So it's like, you know, how much of that changes, how many new dungeons are introduced, how drastically difficult does it get at the later stages that I didn't get to see. That maybe what I'm bitching about is just irrelevant because once you get to that point, you will start to see all that craziness. But then at the same point in time, it's like, okay, how do you hook the new player? How do you hook the person who is at the lower level? Because for someone like me who's coming in from WoW and Final Fantasy, like I'm going to want that hook immediately. And if I'm this bored at the beginning, it doesn't matter how good your late shit is, I'm not going to stick around, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm, again, mildly interested in it. I want to watch it. I played it. I did dig it. We stuck like 3-4 hours into it and I was having fun, but it was one of those things where, again, it is going to be much better with a friend group, much better in Discord, much better when you can have conversations with people. I don't think it's going to be, I think it'll be a toxic nightmare at later stages when you're just trying to play into
with randos and
exactly.
fucking. Yeah.
Cool though. I mean, it's a cool game. I like they need more classes. They need more abilities. They need more variety and customization to your classes. I think that's another big one. I mean, they've got talent trees. They've got leveling systems. You got new spells.
But early. But it's real early.
It's real early. But it's one of those things I think is smart to look at. You know, they have such a good opportunity at this early stage to implement this stuff and move forward. Again, like I said, as long as it's not one of those like, this playtest is actually just a stress test. Here's your game. You know?
Yeah. Feels bad.
Yeah.
Just not again. Not like this.
Because that's, and you can see, and like I said, you can see the vision, like you can see with Nightingale.
Yeah.
But because it feels so polished, and it's not polished. We still had problems. Every time we like finish a dungeon, we got kicked from the server. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, but that's, again, that's that stress test idea. But like the animations all looked very, very detailed. Like they had, you could play through a large portion of it. Like there was no limit, you know, this is what it looks like it's going to be. No one's going to go back in and redesign a dungeon for level 1 at this stage. If it's this far deep into the, you know what I mean? I don't, but it is also the first time that the masses have been playing the game. So this might be something for them to like look at. I don't know, man. I do not know.
What was it called?
Fellowship.
Play Fellowship.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it was cool, man. I was digging the time that I was in it.
And
UI needs a little bit of work too. There was like, how is it that there's no fucking hotkeys to open up my inventory? Why do I have to click a button to open up my inventory? Like that was one that was just like, I should be able to just press I or B or C or something to bring up my character list. Or you have all these abilities, like, cause there's a row of 16, you have 8 on the bottom, 8 on top. And, careful, you were only introduced new skills at certain milestones. So once you completed, you know, X thing or whatever, they gave you a new skill. And it was like, that's cool. But there's no way for you to see the skill list. So you didn't know what you were
like
getting.
Pre-plan.
Yeah. Or just like, not even pre-planned, but just like work towards something. It was just kind of all like you get a new ability and everybody's like, oh,
get it. And you're like,
yeah, new ability. What did you get? And it was like, oh, I fucking make it apple pie. And it's like, oh, all right. And then, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just something stupid where it just like didn't matter, you know? So it's like, it also is one of those things where your rank that you push through is determined by the character that you play, not your overall account level. So I also don't want to put in fucking 16 hours of playtime on a character to find out they're kind of actually dog shit at the later levels, or it's just something that does not interest me. Every MMO, you can click a button to see what you can unlock in the later,
what you're working towards.
Yeah, exactly. And so I can be like, okay, this sounds like a cool class that I would want to invest my time in, you know? So there's just, like I said, there's just UI things that aren't implemented in the game. Again, it's early, so I'm hoping that that is something that they introduce later. But it also made like, I picked like the monk tank class and I was like, I just did it because it had fucking 5 stars. And I was like, okay, if it's going to be difficult to play, let me see how difficult this game is. And, it's not that it was difficult in the sense it was like, oh, this is technically, it's just like, you have to remember it was playing Dance Dance Revolution. I got to press this button first and then this button, and then I can press this button. But if I press this button, it does something different. But if I press this button, it does this something different. There's only 4 fucking buttons. It's just all the different combinations of the 4 buttons. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not difficult. It's just fucking annoying. Like,
yeah. Well, here's hoping. I looked at their Twitter. I saw hot fixes. They were like, hey, we're pushing out hot fixes. I was kind of hoping to open it up and see like a community poll or something regarding
anything. I
don't see that yet, but who knows? He said it just happened.
I mean, it's only been out since Monday, so on this thing. So I mean, it's how fast are they really getting new changes or stuff? I mean, the Next Fest runs until the 4th, I think is what it is. So I think that's when the playtest ends, is on the 4th. So I'm pretty sure they're just collecting all this data up until that point, and then they'll probably say, hey, okay, this is what we found, this is what we'll change, or what do you guys have interest in? As of right now, it's just kind of like, again, collecting data. Again, I can't talk shit about it because it is a playtest, but it's just something that it's like I had very, very high like feelings about, and then playing it was like, all right,
we've been talking about this for a year.
I was like, all right, temper the expectations a little bit, bring it down. It's good, but let's see if anything actually changes, because if not, you've played the game. And like, it's like, all right.
Well, look at Nightingale. It's a great example of a company that did everything except everything.
Yeah.
You know, they reached out, they were doing like all the things. I was like, man, this is a proactive company that's listening, it's doing this, and then it comes out, you're like, fuck. Like, what did you do with all that?
And then not only just that, but it's like one of those situations where they're like, we tried to warn you guys that this is going to be early access and we're going to fix it later. But it was like, it went over everybody's heads. And then the devs were just like, well, what else are we going to do now? I guess we have to just ride this boat. And then it's like the time taken to fix something to now we're like, we talked about, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Nightingale looks like it could be really fun. But is there anybody fucking playing that game?
What's Steam charts?
Yeah.
What Steam charts look like? Do I want to know?
I don't know. Concurrent players. Okay, it peaked on Steam at 47,000 players. It currently has 576 players playing.
Oof.
Now, what does that really mean, though? You know what I mean? Like, does that mean that it's a dead game? You know? Or does it mean that the 500 people that are playing it are people that pay for servers, they play with their friends, they enjoy and love the game? Like, that's hard to say. I mean, although then I looked at like 7 Days to Die. It's like it peaked at 125,000, but it has 33,000 people playing it right now. So, okay. Maybe it's not so good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not so good. We also played another game. It's called Legacy. Oh, fuck. What was it called? Marius turned on to this. Legacy, Steel and Sorcery.
Legolas.
Yes. Legacy, Steel and Sorcery. It is a 3-player, third-person PvPvE extraction game with magic and swords and rogues and shit like that. It's dark and darker, but fast. It's okay. So everything that you know about Dark and Darker, with like the way that the world works and the extractions and the bubbles and zones, nothing like that. I thought that's how it was explained to me. I was like, oh, a lot like Dark and Darker. Played it, nothing like that. Basically, you have extraction zones around the map that are always open, but they'll usually be across the map from wherever you spawn. So if you spawn in mines, your extraction's waterfall. You got to mob through the map to get to there.
So cycle.
Yeah, yes, Cycle Frontier. Very Cycle Frontier-esque. But it plays like, God, I'm trying to like explain how it plays. It plays like how Dragon Age should have played. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's got the combat, it's got the movement, the ability, and the fun, like the quickness to it, but it still has the extraction aspect of it, where you got bags and butt pouches, and you know, you gotta kind of organize your shit a little bit to make sure it all fits, and then get in and out of the map. And then when you get back to the base, there's a trader system, and they can all be leveled up and they give you more stuff. And then you have a lodge system, like your hideout, which you level up to be able to craft and do other things. I was like, oh, you know, I'll play it, you know, because Mars was talking about it. He's like, oh my God, I'm actually having a lot of fun. I've only played a little bit of it. I should get into it. He convinced me and Aaron to pick it up. We played it, and it was just like, this is actually pretty fucking cool. This is a lot of fun. It's not difficult to get into. I will tell you, the PvP, something's wrong there. Either I'm an idiot or man, I just could not close it. We have gotten into quite a few PvP fights, have not downed a single person. I've put work in, have not been able to down a single person, but I have been downed multiple times. But cool, interesting game. That was one that kind of just randomly popped up.
Yeah.
And there's bosses on the map that you can spawn. There's other like mini bosses that'll spawn around the world. You get like other keys and stuff from beating elites that then you can hunt down other treasure chests that only unlock with those keys. You know,
I think it looks good.
It's played good too, you know, and it was like, I think it was like $30 or something like that, or $25.
24.
Yeah. $25 and early access. You know, there's only 3 characters to choose from. You got a rogue, a priest, and a warrior. Oh, 4 classes: rogue, priest, warrior, and then the hunter's class, bow and arrows. I picked priest. It's got a healing ability and stuff like that. It's been fun. It's cool, interesting, quick gameplay, in and out. Didn't feel like you're waiting a long time to get into maps. The only negative is you could jump into a map that was like halfway through. So I think maps are 30 minutes long, so you can get in at 30 minutes, but you can get in like 12 minutes. You know what I mean? And that felt good and bad, but then it also put you on like, okay, well, what are we doing? Okay, we got a 12-minute map. Like, where's the exit? Like, should we just PvP hunt for this map, or should we just fucking like beeline it somewhere, see what's left over, and then get out, you know? And so, interesting. Being third person was a lot of fun too. Being a little bit like, I'm not usually for the fantasy aspect with magic and swords and, you know what I mean? Dragons, but it was fun. It was fun. Map's big, feels fucking pretty cool to get around. Good traversal ability. Yeah. I mean, we should play it one of these days, whenever you're free.
I was going to say, it looks good. I'll be back in April.
Yeah. So what is going on with your fucking job situation?
I'm just working. I'm just working.
You work today?
No.
Oh.
Yes, no.
You got shit to do today.
I got shit to do today. I have to take a pacemaker class. It's like I'm working right now like Monday through Friday.
Dope.
And then I've also picked up a couple weekends back up in Reading.
Why?
But on top of all of my because I need money, Trevor. I went a long time without a job, and now I'm just taking everything that they throw at me.
We all need money.
I know. And it's like I'm doing like Monday through Friday stuff, but there's so much they call e-learning or like health streams and like stuff like that, where like you have to do, you know, like sexual harassment. You should not tell Susan her ass looks nice today, like stuff like that. But like, there's so much more than anywhere I've ever worked.
Yeah, and
there's certain things that I can just like let run on a computer while I'm at work that I just have to like pass the test at the end. But then there's also things where it's like outside of when I'm clocked in there, I have to re-clock in and do like pacemaker training, like certifications that like
you get paid for all this clock in time. Okay, all right.
Yeah, every time I like go into there for my like my e-learning and stuff, it clocks me in and I'm on there, so I'm getting paid for it. But it's like it's like 2 hours to drive there, work all day, 2 hours to drive back. Hey, make sure you pass that pacemaker so you're good by Monday. Like, it's like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, I gotta mow my lawn. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
It's like, oh, I can't. Like, I have to go to the DMV soon, and like everything. It's like, if I'm gone Monday through Friday, when do I find the time to do all the stuff that's not open, like Monday?
Yeah,
it's not open on weekends.
Well, I mean,
it's a whole new world.
They should fucking accommodate you for that then. All right, if you're getting paid and clocked in, give you a day off or something, you know, so you can fucking get all your training done in an 8-hour time period. So you don't have to worry about that.
See, that's the kicker. They would. Okay. I want the money. Like,
yeah, but you can't get double pay, right? Are you getting double pay if you're clocked in at work and you clock into the system? You get double pay.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. So you're not making any additional money.
Do the work at work while working, or I can do it at home and still get paid.
Right. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. So if you want the money, then space it out so you do more, or take the day off and fucking make a full thing so you don't have to worry about the bullshit. You know, that's what I would do it. Because if not, you're just gonna drive yourself mad.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I'm getting there.
This is your life. You chose it. You know.
I know. This is like everything that I'm bitching about is of my own doing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh man, like I wish I had like a day off during the week. Like they would give it to me if I asked.
Yeah.
But I'm in this like frenzy where it's like I'm just taking every hour they give me so I can I'm a fucking squirrel. And I'm collecting my acorns so I can keep shoving them back in the tree again because I lost all my acorns.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand the whole concept, man. I mean, but that's fine. I mean, you don't have to play games. No one fucking puts you in a position to have to play video games.
Man, but by the time I fucking get to play games again, fucking that fun game Legacy, Steel, and fucking Sorcery.
Oh, we'll be done.
I'm gonna be fucking gone.
Yeah, we'll be done with it.
It's like,
I mean, it's like the
FOMO of gaming. It's like
sure.
you miss the launch and you're either like behind the curve and it's like I'm not gonna catch up.
We also have a problem where every game we touch is like a cursed timer. Like launch the game for the first time, there's like just an overworld timer that spawns, and it's just like it's got like a 7-week timer on it, and it's like that's it. At the end of that 7 weeks, this game will no longer exist in our friend group. Like it's like you can't do it. Like how hard has Will been trying to get us to come back to Enshrouded? I'm just like, I'm good.
I like Enshrouded.
I know.
I know. Enshrouded again.
I played Enshrouded with him. We played that one day. I hopped in the world and was like running around doing stuff. When Rye came in, and then I was like, I'm good. I played the game. This does not interest me. I'm fine. And I uninstalled. I was like, I'm not going to play it. Like, I just didn't screenplay me, you know?
Yeah.
You know, that's how it is what it is.
I mean, we got bad ADD.
Oh, yeah, dude.
We got a bad.
Well, I was talking to Sean about this too. One of the issues
is bad enough that I understand why Cliff was so angry. Like, just pick a fucking game. And when I see Cliff's point of view, man, we got a bad.
I was talking to Sean about this. I was like, the problem is it's like I play video games the way I choose my dinners. Where what am I hungry for tonight? You know what I mean? If I eat fucking spaghetti every single night for a month, I'm going to end up hating spaghetti. Yeah. There's some people who are like, that's my favorite food in the world, and you can't stop me from eating it. If I could eat it every fucking day, I would. But that's not me. I can't have spaghetti more than once or twice in a week. You know what I mean? So there's games like that for me too, where I just get to the point where all of a sudden I'm like, I need a new genre, or I need a new twist on something. Okay, I love shooters. I'm playing shooters. And now I'm just bored of playing this shooter. I want to play shooters, but I don't want to play other shooters that aren't this shooter because I'm good at this shooter or I enjoy this shooter. So then I look for a different type of shooter. Oh, well, if this shooter is just a regular shooter, now I'm looking for like a roguelike shooter, or I'm looking for like, a strategic shooter or something, just to kind of break up the monotony of what is. And that's what gets me fucked, because then I'm just playing 20 different games at once. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
It sucks. And like, I fucking hate TV. Nothing is interesting to watch. My YouTube algorithm has gone off the deep end. I've got like fucking weird, like 3-hour videos of like people playing Balatro or fucking like weird
The
tower
cilantro videos are fucking.
They're amazing.
They're so addictive, but I'm just like, nice.
Yeah. Fucking 40 hands before he gets one Joker, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe that, you know. But I've been watching like tower defense videos, and then there's like hot ones that pop up, and I'm like, I gotta reset my algorithm because this thing is fucking trash right now. I can't stand TV. I finished a book.
How do you think your algorithm feels?
Oh yeah, dude, my algorithm is like,
you're like, man, this shit sucks. Your algorithm's like, can you fucking like anything? Hey, look, I got this for you. I fucking know.
I wish my algorithm. I wish there was a system of
where you could just press a button like, hey, we're starting over.
There is. So I found it. It's you just click. Yeah. So if you go into your YouTube.
Whoa.
Yeah, you ready for this? You go into your YouTube.
I'm doing it right now.
Go to your history, or it'll show like under your account history or whatever it is on your YouTube. There's a section where it says clear all browse, just like you would do a regular web page. And if you do that, it'll clear everything, all of your most watched, everything that you have previously watched, everything. So it resets your history and your watch time to 0, reset your algorithm. Now, your algorithm will immediately start pushing things that are based off of whatever your subscription list is, based off of the people that you have, and it'll start to show you recommended highest stuff or recommended newer videos. And there's a lot of times that you'll get videos that pop up and you're like, I've watched this a million times, but then you can start to have the algorithm relearn new things by putting in new information, searching for new stuff, and rewatching.
Thick,
and
twerking Latinas. Just slowly building it back.
Just slowly building it back.
Watermelons crushed between thighs while mommy speaks Russian.
I'm about to turn all of my Google stuff back on and just start talking and just let the algorithm go wild, dude. Let the phone listen to me, and every time I pull it up, it's like, did you want to see like busty black women in Ukraine?
I did.
Yes, I did. Yeah, how did you know?
I do. I continue to. Send me that shit.
All right, man. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. Bye, kids. Don't forget to brush your teeth every morning.
Yep. It's an enjoyable week this week. 1st of March. We got a lot of birthdays this month.
Is it the 1st of March?
Yes, it is. Today is the 1st of March. We are 3 fucking months into this damn year.
No. Okay.
It's game over from here on out. Fuck it. End of the world's coming. All right, we're out of here, guys. Bye-bye.